Now, if you've got little ears in and around the radio, maybe it is timely to distract them for a few minutes, because I want to talk about the case involving Conor McGregor at the High Court. So Nikita Hand has taken a civil action, as you know, against both Conor McGregor and his friend James Lawrence, claiming she was sexually assaulted in a Dublin hotel in December 2018. Frank Rainey, our courts correspondent, has been following this for us. Frank, Conor McGregor in the stand again today. What can you tell us?
That's right, Kieran. He took the stand yesterday. He gave his direct evidence, and his cross-examination began before it wrapped up yesterday afternoon for the day. It resumed this morning with a continuation of that cross-examination. And in his direct evidence yesterday, as you may remember from our chat, Conor McGregor gave the jury his version of events. Again, he's not denying that he had sex with Nikita Hand in that hotel back in December of 2018, but he claims it was at all times fully consensual. His cross-examination continuing today, as I say. We heard yesterday that after Ms. Hand made a complaint to Gardaí, he met Gardaí by arrangement. He was interviewed on a number of occasions. He gave them a prepared statement, we heard. And today he accepted that that statement was made in consultation with his lawyers. He was then reminded that he told the jury yesterday that he wanted every single shred of evidence to be put before the court. And it was put to him that despite that assertion, he answered no comment to the 100 plus follow-up questions that the Gardaí had for him. And when he was asked about that, again, this was by one of Nikita's barristers, he said that he was going on the advice of his lawyers. The judge, Mr. Justice Alex Owens, interjected at this point to tell the jury that Mr. McGregor is perfectly entitled to do that, and they were warned that they can't draw any adverse inferences from the fact that he answered or replied no comment to the Garda questions. He was asked if it was in his mind that James Lawrence might be the patsy, that he might take the fall for Conor McGregor. James Lawrence, of course, is Mr. McGregor's friend, the second named defendant in this civil legal action. He also denies raping Nikita Hand, claiming they too had consensual sex after Conor McGregor left the hotel. And in reply to that question, Conor McGregor simply said, "How silly, no, not an iota," he said. He was asked if he paid James Lawrence's legal fees. We heard that, and they are both represented by the same firm of solicitors. And after some back and forth, Mr. McGregor said that he believed he did. He believed that he had paid Mr. Lawrence's legal fees. It was put to him that he had a close involvement in how James Lawrence portrayed himself in all of this. He denied that, saying there was no colluding in all of this. He was also asked about the booking of the penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel. In relation to that, it was put to him that the only reason he books hotel rooms when he's out and about at night is to bring girls back for sex. He denied that. It was put to him that he was in the company of a few other girls that night. He was in Crystal nightclub in Dublin until the early hours, and that he only contacted Nikita after those girls went home. Again, he denied that. Denied that Nikita was to be the replacement for the girls who left and went home. He insisted he didn't get the room to have sex. He said that he'd often book rooms when he's out to have somewhere to go and to rest and to sleep and to have breakfast, wash, work out before he returns to normal life. He was also asked about cocaine use, and he did accept that he took some cocaine in the car before they went to the Beacon Hotel. And to conclude his cross-examination today, he was told Ms. Hand repeatedly told Gardaí that she was frightened, and he was asked again under cross-examination if he thought she was frightened. And to that he said there was no sign of fear, just elation, he said, excitement and joy. He said there were no signs of distress at any point. He described her as joyous, excited and having a good time. And he stepped down from the witness box a few minutes later. So he has finished giving his evidence in defence of that claim, that allegation that has been made against him.
And what can we expect then tomorrow or over the coming days, Frank, in terms of any other witnesses that might be called?
Well, James Lawrence's barrister called him to give his evidence, and he's actually finished giving his evidence, and he was cross-examined today as well, this afternoon. He described how he was out with Conor McGregor on the 8th of December 2018. This was the same date that Nikita was out for her Christmas party, the day before the alleged rape. They ended up in a club, James Lawrence and Conor McGregor, that is. He said he got home that morning at about 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And he said that Conor McGregor arrived a few hours later to try and convince him to come back out. He initially refused, he said, but eventually joined him, went out to his car. It was parked outside. He said Nikita Hand and another girl, a girl that she worked with, a girl called Danielle Keeley, were in the car with Mr McGregor. And when he saw there were girls in the car, he said that he got in, decided to go along for a bit of fun. He said everything was real good in the car, everyone having a laugh. He described Conor McGregor and Nikita Hand flirting back at the hotel. He said they were kissing. He said that they went into the bedroom after a while, and soon afterwards he told the jury that he could hear them having what he described as pleasurable sex. That's how he described it. He said Nikita was in and out of the room. He said she was in good spirits, nothing wrong with her, that she was having a laugh with him and Danielle. And after a while he said that he and Danielle started kissing and that they ended up having sex on a sofa bed in the hotel. He described Conor deciding to leave. This was at about 5 or 6 in the evening. He said that Nikita wanted to stay on. Said everyone was fine, nobody appeared distressed, all in good spirits, smiling, laughing. And after the two others left, he said that he and Nikita actually decided to stay on in the hotel. Described her as being very flirty with him. He said that he had no drive, wasn't interested in her, but after a while he said that they started kissing, ended up having what he described as fully consensual sex on 2 occasions. And he was asked about that suggestion that was put to Conor McGregor today, that he was willing to be the fall guy for his friend. And he said never in a million years would he do that for anybody. He said, what man would put themselves up for the rape of a woman? He said he wouldn't stand up for his own brother or father in such circumstances. He said he comes from a family of women and he wouldn't turn a blind eye to it. He, as I say, was cross-examined today. He's finished giving his cross-examination. I understand there will be a couple of witnesses called tomorrow, but we are entering the closing stages of this action.
Both Conor McGregor and James Lawrence claim innocence in this civil action. If anybody has been impacted by the content of Frank's description of what happened in court today, you can contact the Dublin Rape Crisis 24-hour National Rape Crisis Helpline on 1-800 778888. That's 1-800 778888. Frank Rainey, Newstalk's court correspondent. Frank, thank you as always. We'll get to these headlines. Here's Eamon.